Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 718 of Geeks in Space, a Type 30. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am, of course, joined by Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
And Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Gentlemen, how was our weekends?
Oh, that's right. There was a weekend.
It was okay, I guess.
Finally testing negative with an antigen test. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at you.
Aw, you're a real boy. You can go cough on strangers.
Yeah. Spread them germs.
That's right. Okay, that's all right. Well, let's see. The first thing we got on the list, we got a lot of trailers. The Orville has a season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Looks fine. Looks good.
Looks good.
We've said it before. It's the best Star Trek show on the air. Maybe
the best Star Trek since Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
It'll be a good season.
Seth MacFarlane is just the wrong side of the uncanny valley for human beings, though, for me.
Because he looks like a video game character.
He kind of, I don't know
Well,
what it is. It's like his eyes are a little too close together. And
yeah, his eyes, his facial features are a little too small. Are a little too small for the face that they are on.
Yeah, he's got small face.
Oh, okay. Small face.
Yeah. Small face. Yeah.
I buy that. He looks like you spend a little too long in the character creator window.
Yeah, right?
For sure.
Right, but just not long enough. Yeah.
I actually kind of want to see what they're going to do with the show because, and I know Rob doesn't like this, but they ended it with time travel and stuff being a big part of the show. And I'm like, all right, sign me up.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of how they time traveled it, but it's a good show otherwise.
Yeah, I'll enjoy the time travel enough for all of us. How about that?
Yep.
That's my new plan. So guys, I do have good news about our future privacy.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise, guys. The NSA swears it has no backdoors in next-gen encryption, guys. We promise.
Nope. Those S tables are totally secure.
Yep.
That's why we approved it.
That's right. We wouldn't have approved it if there were backdoors, wink. I mean,
no.
I didn't say wink.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't call them backdoors anymore. That was offensive.
Oh, so now they're just called security loopholes, but we don't talk about them? Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll buy that
have
too.
A cool name like Frame Smasher.
Frame Smasher.
Spectre. So there's no more backdoors. They'll have cool names now.
Right.
Like what's a word that has NSA in it?
All right, get out your anagram generator and
get the anagram.
Yeah, it seems like it's not really worth the effort. Because I 100% believe that if anybody knows how to efficiently exploit things like the Spectre loophole or one of these botnets that's floating around, it's the NSA. That's what we pay them to do.
Well, no. Didn't you read the title? It says there's no more backdoors.
Yeah, really? I mean, it's like you don't trust them, Rob.
No, okay. I guess we agree on that then. It is like I don't trust them.
Oh, the sainted backdoor. There you go. Sainted. Because it's got an NSA in it.
So a sainted backdoor
as well.
Sainted backdoor is one that they put in there and they swear they're the only one that has the keys. But the real backdoor is just the one that they just don't tell us about. So there's probably a sainted backdoor. They just don't need to tell us about it. Okay. Cool. I feel more patriotic already, especially after reading about Ron DeSantis. Go America.
What did he do this time?
Actually, they're trying to pass a law in Florida to make it illegal to protest.
Have they read the Constitution?
No, the Constitution is for the other side.
Yeah.
Well, they've read parts of it for sure.
They like some of it.
Yeah. They duct taped a bunch of chapters from Deuteronomy and Leviticus in the middle of it, but they blacked out the parts that don't like. It's cool. Okay. Okay. Here's a cool thing. I don't know about you guys, but I've always been jealous of how Windows desktops always seem to have that cool watermark reminding me to activate Windows. And I've always felt that, if that functionality could be, expanded to other platforms, that, that'd be all right.
This could be the year of activating the Linux desktop.
Right. This is the year, guys, of activating Linux on the desktop. Somebody has a GitHub repo which adds activate Linux. And that's just charming and good fun. And Chris is showing it on screen. So I'm sorry to our podcast listener, but you're just going to have to close your eyes and envision deep in your heart what the Activate Windows watermark looks like, but then change one word to a different word.
Just one word.
One word.
To Linux. But it's nice. They had the nice sort of like, alpha channel.
Yeah.
So you can see the desktop behind it. And the person has a lovely wallpaper.
Oh, for sure.
It's craggy. It's craggy as heck.
At the very beginning of quarantine, I built each of my kids' gaming computers out of leftover parts, mostly from Uriah's
Uriah's stock.
From Uriah's dumpster. And both of them have unregistered copies of Windows. And it took them like a year and a half before one of them said, like, can I have registered Windows? And I'm like, sure, it's like $50.
But it's only Windows 11. That's what you're allowed. So
is that the rule?
I don't know.
I'm not going to upgrade my children to that. I love them.
Yeah, it's a hard one to love. I have to tell you. I have a machine that's got 11 on it, and it came that way, and I'm like, can I downgrade somehow, please?
Nope, sorry. One-way trip.
Nope.
I ain't going to Windows 11 until I'm just afraid that it would break everything that I have set up.
Once it come out with 12, I'll think about 12.
Is it like the Star Trek movies, the odds and the evens?
I think it is
good and bad. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of Vista-y sometimes, like inexplicable stalls. You're like, what are you doing?
We hate
it's got an i9 with 20 freaking threads. That's the other thing. You can only Windows only supports big and little cores on 11 and above. So that's kind of a downer. At least I think so.
I don't have big and little cores, right? The Ryzens don't do that yet.
The Ryzens. Well, no, the Ryzens pioneered it.
I thought the Ryzens didn't have the big and littles. I thought the Macs had the big and littles, and the Intels had the big and littles.
I think maybe like one of their server. I don't know anything.
What do we know? Let's go talk about things we know about. eBay. Rob, this
was yours before. Terrorizing people with spiders and funeral wreaths.
Roseboom, did you know you had this option when you were getting trolled by everybody on Slashdot professionally? You could have sent spiders and really gone after them and threatened their families. I mean,
yeah, it's something that we did do. I often though would. It was an earlier time. I was much more brash. So I would often send out the address to the office, and people would physically threaten me.
Yeah,
and offer, like, well, come on.
Well,
down.
Make sure you come to the right place, not the federal building in Detroit,
dude.
Right.
Now that's where.
So yeah, we talked about this when the story break.
Yeah, it happened
a while ago, and I guess the last guy finally pleaded guilty to it. It's so stupid,
right?
These are rich people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who are giving up their richness
for pettiness
against a blogger. A blogger. Yeah. Remember, we're not talking about like Elon Musk with 80 million followers.
No, this isn't like a TikToker.
This is not had a newsletter.
This is not 60 Minutes. This is not an investigative report. This is a couple that are bloggers.
Right. This is literally the equivalent of the person on top of the T station, because it would be in Boston. Handing out a pamphlet saying how much they dislike eBay. It's like, what are you doing? Don't give them any attention. They'll be fine.
Yeah, so they
eBay pocket your millions.
Kinds of
go
creepy
swim
stuff.
In your millions pool.
Including live cockroaches. They say.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, but now that said, the fact that you can just click buttons on the internet and have live cockroaches mailed to somebody is kind of cool.
That is
absolutely.
Very
yeah.
But that's a kind of power that should be used for good and not for evil. Yeah, that story made me sad.
Weird.
But you know what story didn't make me sad?
What didn't make you sad?
Parmigiano Reggiano versus cheese fraud, or as I like to think of it,
the most regal of cheese.
Cheese crime.
Cheese crime.
Cheese crime.
So like they're putting an RFID in there or something? Or?
Yeah, they're putting tracking in it so they can tell that if they've been taken or if they're going where they're supposed to.
No, you know what this is? This is about Asian producers of cheese that are putting on counterfeit Parmigiano Reggiano burn marks on the rind. Pow! Ooh. This is to counter the counterfeit cheese trade.
Is this like how champagne is not champagne unless it's grown in the Champagne region of France?
That's right.
All right.
It is similar, but not quite as different as that.
No. I mean, Parmesan can only be produced in the Parma and Emilia-Reggiano regions of Italy. Nowhere else. Everywhere else, it is not Parmesan.
So what's it called?
That's just hard cheese, I guess.
It's just white.
It's called Kraft grated cheese.
Kraft.
You know? Yeah.
Squeeze out those oils.
I mean, come on.
All
This
right.
is Parm, man. Parm's important.
It is.
I concur.
Yeah, I actually am kicking myself because I didn't get any when I was at the grocery store today, and we're planning on having spaghetti tomorrow, and I'm gonna need parm.
P-chip microtransformers. Let's see if we can get a picture of one of these fellas. Yeah, this is like the ones you put in your cat. Oh my gosh, it's even smaller. Look at that.
Oh, it's so tiny.
Yeah, you
Fits
could eat that and not even worry about it.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, they will use the rind as like mac and cheese or something. 'Cause, I mean,
Sure.
it's
They'll
still
use it in
food. It's
soups
just-
quite a bit too.
yeah. So if you munch on wow, what if you could track individual pills or rinds of cheese?
It is weird that we are at this point.
That's kind of cool though.
Like you can
I
track
gotta say,
something on
that's really remarkable.
like my brain says that a tracking thing is the size of a grain of rice. And
That's smaller than a grain of
that's
rice.
like a grain of
Yeah.
dust.
Yeah. Well, I just like these stories because I don't think people think about fraud in food, right? If you're talking
Yeah.
about crime, it's usually jewels, drugs, commodities like that. But
Yeah.
really, there's a lot of money to be made with counterfeit cheese, counterfeit fish.
Saying fish is something it's not.
Right,
Yeah. We've done stories on this. We've done
Yeah.
stories on maple syrup theft.
Yeah.
Food is how people eat.
Whoa.
That should be our tagline for this episode.
Galaxy brain, Chris DeBona.
Yeah, well,
It happened.
I'm here for a reason.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. Dropping the knowledge and Galaxy Brain expansion. The Boys Season 3 trailer, I watched that just a couple minutes
Wow.
before we started. Holy cow.
Wow, right? They don't pull any punches. Well, except for the one that went through that guy's
Yeah.
head.
There's a lot of blood
Looks
in
like
the trailer.
there's a lot of blood in this season. It looks like a lot of explosions.
I know, that's a huge surprise.
Yeah.
And this actor, he's
So
good.
terrifyingly
Isn't he?
good.
He is
Oh my
so
God.
good.
I don't know if you watched him in Banshee or some of the things he did
Yeah.
before. He's so intense.
We saw
It's
him
just
in
like,
something else,
comes
and I
out of
didn't
his
even recognize
blood.
him because
Yeah.
without the evil eyes and the blonde hair, he just looks like a regular guy.
He's just a normal New Zealander.
Some acting, man. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
He's so intense. You're almost like expect his heart to explode. And like the introduction of Soldier Boy is going to be.
They didn't show him in the trailer, did they? I wasn't.
Yeah, at the end.
No, see the last shot.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Yeah. Well, not last.
Oh, maybe I didn't
Well,
watch.
the emergence is in last, but like they have a bit of him in the middle too. Soldier Boy, where are you? Soldier Boy?
Mostly, I was just excited to see that what's his butt's going to get his own superpowers with little pills. Oh, okay, that was him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really watched Supernatural.
Yeah, me either.
So it's funny to me that because. Go ahead, Rob.
I was gonna say it. I mean, it's okay. There's actually some pretty funny episodes in it, but
It's
like-
extremely reliable.
there's
Yeah.
like 23
Canadian science
seasons or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So there's so much of it that
They're
who
like
knows?
demon hunters or
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Warehouse 13 where they just throw everything at the screen and see what sticks.
That's fair. I just know that the people who like it really like it. It seems to have a following. But I'm all in on that one. That reminds me, I didn't put up a link for it, but I did watch the first couple of episodes of the Kids in the Hall reboot.
Yeah,
have
how was
either of you guys watched this yet?
I have not seen it yet.
I gotta say, man, I've only watched 2 episodes because it turns out that it falls in the bucket of shows where I have to wait for my wife. But I've only watched 2 episodes and I enjoyed it. Like it's
You liked
it's
I mean-
not it's almost like they didn't skip a beat, except now they're really old and they're also self-aware of the fact that a lot of time has gone by, so a lot of the jokes are connected to that.
Do they have new 30 Helens? Because some of those Helens are pretty old. I'd imagine
Yeah.
they're dead now.
Or the Daves. So many of those Daves are probably
Yeah.
dead by now.
Well, these are the Daves we know.
These
we
are the
know.
days we used to know.
There's more Daves that we don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you could just like
Uh,
Daves are a
as l-
renewable resource.
As long as at some point the chicken lady shows back up, I'll be happy.
Oh.
Also, the very
Oh!
first very first sketch I ever saw of Kids in the Hall was the suit harvesting voyageurs, where they're laying traps in an office building and stealing and trapping office workers and taking their Armani suits and stuff. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So
30
I
Helens
I
agree.
just I loved the Helens. Man. They
The
were so fun.
so in the first 2 episodes, Buddy gets an appearance,
Mhm.
which is actually really well done. And
Really?
Buddy is one of those characters that I
He's
never.
he's the kid, right?
No, Buddy is the
No,
super
it's
flamboyant nightclub guy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But like he was always one of those characters I was relatively indifferent towards, and I actually never
Mhm.
particularly cared for Chicken Lady either. But
Oh,
it's only
right.
through hindsight that I find Chicken Lady funny, because at the time it was just like, come on, we get your joke, keep going. But now, like, I think Chicken Lady is hysterical. But they Buddy had an appearance, and then a couple of office ladies had a whole thing about retiring the last fax machine in Canada or something. But like the show literally opens up with them like buying a copy of Brain Candy on VHS. And they celebrate because with this sale of Brain Candy on VHS, Kids in the Hall is finally broken even. And like they go with that, and they run it really well, and they like even like kind of freak out about the fact that Amazon is funding the season, and as like a throwaway joke. It's like I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to continuing with the show, but I had kind of forgot how much I loved this show.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's parts of it that are just so good. I kind of worry that it'll suck, right? And
You know
it'll
what,
suck
man?
all that good out of my head.
It's 8 episodes, and if you figure they've got a half a dozen sketches that they're basically obligated to revisit,
Oh my gosh.
that's
My
not a
favorite
lot of
Kids in the
time
Hall sketch.
left.
Have I told
Also,
you my favorite Kids in the Hall? They're sitting in a diner. They're talking about Citizen Kane, and the guy is like, there's a movie. It's about a
yeah.
newspaper man. And he goes, front
Sit-
page? No, 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 not front page. Is it a comedy? No, no, it's definitely about it's and he's dying, and he's got this sled,
sled.
and he's like, yeah, Citizen Kane. He's like,
State
no,
No, no,
no,
no,
it's
no.
not Citizen Kane. And it ends with him stabbing him, saying,
Sapping.
"Citizen
Yeah.
Kane, Citizen Kane."
Yeah.
It still just makes me practically cry
Also, the
every time I
older
see
I get, the more I appreciate Bruce McCulloch.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just the weirdness of that guy is phenomenal. I love that guy.
Yeah,
We were
he's so weird,
Yeah.
we were talking about the differing levels of career strata that each of the kids has achieved, and how Mark McKinney had like 7 years on Superstore. And he's really
Yeah.
good in that.
Mhm.
Like he's totally fine in that role. And also he got a few years on SNL, and then like Foley got like a long time on news radio.
Yeah.
But the other guys kind of faded into nothingness, especially poor Kevin McDonald, who I think was subsisting entirely on Lilo and
Cameo.
Stitch residuals and cameo
He
money.
came on
Yeah,
Cameo
but he's
for
not
like
the one
40
who went
bucks or
into
something.
wild debt,
Uh,
If you look at him though, he's a reliable voice
he's a
and
voice all over the
character
place.
actor. It's like I would say Kevin maybe came out pretty ahead.
He's
He's in
working.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, he's working.
Well,
I mean, he's a
Scott
worker.
Thompson also is in. He's been in a lot of movies,
Yeah.
a lot
Really?
of shows.
I haven't
Yes.
really seen much Scott Thompson,
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
plays
Maybe you don't like Canadians.
a lab tech, and I can't remember what movie it is, and in a show.
Huh.
So he has lots of television appearances.
Yeah, he was on Reno 911. He's on Voices for the Simpsons.
Everybody's
if you
on
look,
Reno 911.
these guys work their butts off. They're working actors.
Good for them. Well, I can only speak to the first 2 episodes. I enjoyed them tremendously. I can't wait for a Chicken Lady and a Crushing Your Head, because those are mandatory.
It's it's kind of like the Daleks. I'm really tired of that crap.
The
Do new
nostalgia.
stuff, guys. You're talented comedian.
I think that at least in
Lean
the
in.
first 2 episodes, they've done a good job of striking a balance between referencing the old and giving you some new. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of it tremendously.
Oh.
I am not looking forward to spending any time in Costa Rica. It seems that things are troubled down in Costa Rica, guys.
Yeah, they're not having a good time. I was thinking, this has got to be the first time something like this has happened, at least that's been reported, right? I mean, like they've certainly had malware gangs hit other things, and we just did a story about the college that had to shut down because of it. Uh, but
I hate to sound like a COVID denier or something. They didn't shut down because of it. They shut it down with it. You know.
okay, whatever the case may be. Uh, this is the first time I can actually remember them going fully out at a country, right? And this has got to be something that has to happen more often. I mean, even the crappiest little country has got to have some pretty deep pockets, right? And if you shut down all their services, all their ability to communicate, what are they going to do?
Yeah, the ransom demands are $20 million, which, I imagine that's a lot of money at the state level. But obviously it's less money than we think about.
I don't know.
You think
Listen,
there's
we're
more
not
going
talking
on
about
here?
like a hyper digital government here. This is Costa Rica. They're like, okay.
See, I think that's what kind of makes it even easier, right?
Yeah.
They don't
it's like-
have like the same level of security as you might expect if you were at, in
No,
a
they're
more
also
developed
not as
country.
reliant. I mean, so a couple
Uh,
spreadsheets got to bring back from
I
backup and start paying people their pensions. I
I
mean,
think you're I, I don't agree at all. I think even the most backward country at this point has almost everything digitized, especially how they work. This has got to shut down almost every avenue of communication in their country, and any ability for them to do anything digitally. I mean, no one is doing spreadsheets by hand anymore, right? Even the most backward people still use the internet for things.
well, yeah, for sure. I don't know.
And Costa
I
Rica
think
is
they're more
not
likely to
like
find these people and shoot them.
Costa Rica's not nowhere. They have like it is a
Right. I mean, look at how much tourism they get, and all that is done online. I mean, it's gotta really affect them.
Yeah, I'm going through. Okay, their visa information page is up. Their embassy pages are up. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time caring. I think they're gonna find these guys and just shoot them and say, "Thanks for the cyber attack." Bam.
Okay, I got a couple of quick little things. I watched the movie Shine. Have either of you seen this?
Is that the one that with the child abuser?
Kinda. It's Jeffrey Rush and he plays piano.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
That's an older movie.
Yeah, it's from '96.
Yeah.
It's kind of good.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
for sure
There,
it is.
was there a cyber attack in it?
no. I'm
Yeah,
just
they attack his piano.
Yep, they fight it. So I watched that and really enjoyed it. Somebody in channel last week at probably Amblue recommended that I watch Gung Ho, which it turns out I don't think I've ever seen.
Gung Ho is
Oh,
great.
really?
Yeah,
I don't know. I remember it being great. Is it like super racist now?
it's definitely got a big thick stream of racism running through it.
Well, it came out like right after Mr. Mom, right?
Yeah, it's like '86.
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton and the guy who, the Japanese guy. He was really funny.
The guy from 16 Candles.
Yeah, I think so.
Or was he
Oh, I
Wheel
don't
of Fish? Oh man. Anyway, and the other one that I watched, this one's a weird
Because
one.
we were all afraid of the Japanese manufacturing technique.
Yeah, and that's
And
exactly
Gung Ho
what it
was
is.
trying to bring that into an American factory.
It was trying to elevate the dialogue between the Rust Belt and Japanese automakers.
If Adam McKay had done that movie, it would have been like an Oscar award-winning incredible thing. But it was not that.
It does kind of feel like, well, it's Ron Howard's 80s version of an Adam McKay movie, which is just not nearly as, I mean, Adam McKay is pretty overt too, but he's not schmaltzy. Ron Howard is schmaltzy, maybe for a lack of better words. The other one that I wanted to mention, and this one you guys might actually want to watch, and it's only like 85 minutes long. It's called Grand Piano.
Oh.
Morbius.
So Grand Piano is the story of Frodo, who has to play a piano in a concert without missing a single note, or John Cusack is sitting in the balcony and will sniper rifle him. So it's speed on a piano.
Oh, that sounds stupid.
It is 85 minutes long, and it is totally watchable.
Does it end with a headshot?
Dude.
What? I'm Just,
No spoilers.
it sounds like a really dumb movie.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely a dumb movie, but it's actually well executed and kind of funny and kind of weird and like kind of amazing that this movie got made.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it tremendously.
Oops. Sorry.
And then the only other thing that we had on the list was Elon Musk.
Nah, who cares?
But well, that's fair. But
I don't know. I am watching this and I am enjoying every minute of it. I got to tell you.
well,
It's
okay,
like,
let's
he's
just.
like, oh wait, I actually want to pay less.
So the central piece of this story is that it's an argument about the percentage of bots that are inhabiting Twitter, because officially Twitter acknowledges only 4.99% of their population is bots.
And
but
then my friend Rand.
But third-party analysis indicates that number is closer to 20%.
Yeah, let me bring it up. Rand's thing.
Anyway, I just like, of course, that's going to materially change the valuation of this business, and that's without even getting into the middle of the fact that the stock price is so far down.
I gotta disclose. First of all, I'm invested in Spark Toro, so so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, Rand put this up, and I was like, "Oh, Rand!" And then Elon started quoting this thing, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." It's like Rand's like,
Yeah.
"Let me just throw a log on that fire," and the log is made of explosive.
Yeah.
Man, I love Rand so much. He's so funny.
Now that's a interesting story, and it'll be fun to see how this shakes out, because I mean, we all know that it's actually really, really hard to measure bots.
It's extremely hard to run this kind of site.
Like, Rob and I spent literally years looking at IP addresses and playing the game of, do you think it's a bot or not?
Yep.
And they can be clever.
Yeah.
So the stock value for Twitter is down, way down. What are we at now?
Let's bring it up.
We are not a financial advisement site. Okay, $37 at the moment as we say this.
When he bought it, it was 54, right? That's the value.
That was the value.
Yeah, he was saying 54 per share.
So, but what's now? How far is the S&P or maybe the Nasdaq over the same time frame? Because the Nasdaq took a dump, but then also,
everything's been. I mean, this basically charts what's been going on.
Well, is that charting Nasdaq, or is that charting?
Well, here, I'll bring up.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, but I just have to assume that the board of investment banking folks that Elon brought on to back his bid.
So it's been a rough little ways.
It's been bad for the old Nasdaq.
Here's Twitter 6 months, right? So they were doing pretty good here at the end.
Well, is that spike then just Elon, or is that? Nah, we should graph it out separately against the two to actually not be speculative nonsense.
Sorry, I'm not really doing a great job charting. I apologize.
It's okay. I'm just saying that the difference between the value of Twitter and the Nasdaq, like the Nasdaq is pretty far down, but I have to assume that Twitter is doing way worse, at least relative to the offer. So those bankers have to be thinking they're screwed.
So here's the last month, right? Nasdaq is yellow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and then we're gonna add
way worse.
We're gonna add FUBA. So here's FUBA. Right here. Well, like the light blue.
Like
so
13, 14% worse than.
Yeah, that's substantially off the Nasdaq.
Here's your Tesla right here. Oh, look, it's like it's tracking with his fortunes. Anyway.
Well, you know that Tesla is holding a shit ton of Bitcoin, right? So that's probably doing just fine for him.
I thought they dumped it.
I thought they said they had $1 billion in Bitcoin or something. So some crazy amount.
That sounds stupid. Here's your Bitcoin.
It's turning into a spaghetti mess. Well, what we can see from all of these squiggly lines on our screens is a lot of nothing. But it does seem like the folks who wanted to spend a lot of money on Twitter might want an excuse to back out right now.
Well, that's the thing, I think he's just having a little bit of buyer's remorse for promising to buy a thing when it was expensive, and then the market had its correction, and yeah,
You know,
he's
if nothing
he's
less.
such a troll. He's a master level troll.
Oh yeah.
Just like a level that's beyond the dreams of avarice. And it's so weird to see somebody who is that wealthy spend so much time being a troll.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
brags about working 12
kind of like
hours a
sending
day.
spiders to people when they have a blog.
Right.
It's like I'm like, what's going on in that head of yours there, Elon? But yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but the only other thing that I had of note is that I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is supposed to be out on some sort of digital platform this
Oh,
week.
really?
But like
Let me
I'm
look that
getting
up.
mixed. I haven't found it anywhere yet. And usually movies come out on Tuesdays, but I had
April 8th. No.
can I just say one of the
Really
places
looking
where
forward to it.
Google fails epically is in the use case of when does movie X come out on streaming? If you do that for any movie, you will get
Yeah.
hundreds of SEO sites that don't answer the question, but merely rephrase the question for you. It's a really frustrating experience. The SEO folks are
You
not
should
nice.
send an angry email.
I'll file a bug for you.
I don't
Yeah.
send angry emails. I just complain to Chris and don't actually ever expect anything to change because the internet sucks now.
Okay.
Dude, it says it's streaming now.
It's a confusing mess. I haven't found it yet. It's not on any of the platforms that I could find, but there was an announcement that it was. I saw
You can
one
rent
website
it on Amazon.
I know you could, but it's a pre-order.
Oh.
But a few days ago, I found some sites that were saying it was supposed to come out today. So I'm hoping that's the movie I want to see the most right now.
Yeah. Well, it's playing on at one of our theaters here. So, now that I'm testing negative, maybe Christine and I will see it.
Date day.
Date night. So,
All right, gents. Well, I have a date.
With a
so,
You do.
roof man.
Yeah.
Let's say
Or a
goodbye.
contractor. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
See you. Bye.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Later, skater.
And I was Rob Commander Taco Malta. That was episode 718 of Geeks in Space. Rob, get out of here. Go, go, go. Bye.